Good morning. Hello, hello. How's everyone today? I would love to know in the comments how you are doing. I would love if you can say hello, and if you are catching up on the replay, giving me a hashtag replay in the comments would be amazing. I'd massively appreciate it. I hope you are well today. It is lovely to be back again on your screens. Can I say that? Is that a thing? I'm not sure, but it is lovely to see you again. And thank you for tuning in and joining me today. As always, I know that your time is incredibly precious and I appreciate you spending some of it with me. So for those of you that don't know me, if you have not seen me before and you're stumbling across this live stream, my name is Annette Ferguson. I am CEO of Annette & Co, UK-based accounting firm. I'm a chartered accountant, certified profit first professional, and financial strategist. And of course, we take care of all the standard compliance stuff that businesses need. But on top of that, we focus on helping business owners take more money home from their business for them and their families to enjoy. Because that's what it's about, isn't it? Running a business. It should be about giving us the life that we want to live. So today I'm speaking about how I banish unproductive time and the strategies that I use for maximizing productivity. Because in my view, if we can be productive on the right things in our business, then that will support the profitability at the same time, which is why I want to speak about this today. So I want to start by saying that I do not believe that you need to work all the hours that are sent to you in order to run a successful business. But I also want to counter that by saying sometimes there are seasons in our business where we do need to work a lot more and put a lot more in and perhaps get the same amount back out. And first of all, understanding that there are these ebbs and flows and seasons can really help avoid us feeling resentful in those times where actually you need to put a lot more into the business to get out the same, to reap the same rewards. And just being aware of that can be helpful because it can feel really hard sometimes when we are in those seasons that we have to put more in. Now, those seasons shouldn't last forever. That's the difference, is that whilst those time periods can last for a while, a few months, 6 months, maybe even a year, they shouldn't be lasting years and years and years, because if they are, something has gone wrong and something needs fixed in the strategy of your business, whether that's the business model, the financial strategy, the pricing, the marketing, the whatever it is, that needs examined to be fixed, because that will create a big problem in the longer term. So what I want to speak about, as I said, is kind of maximizing productivity for the times when you are working. Because there definitely should be times when you are not working. And there also should be times when you are working, yet not on the kind of proverbial tools, so to speak, depending on what that is for your business. Because thinking time and strategizing time is productive time. Okay, if you are thinking over what your business strategy should be, or your business model, or you are planning out your revenue streams, or you are looking at how you're going to launch something, that is all productive time. Just because that is not time that you are physically spending serving your customers or clients, that doesn't mean it's not productive. It absolutely is, and there should be a slot available for that for you in your business. And so that's the first thing, or second thing rather, to understand when I speak about productivity. I'm not speaking about how to ram lots of to-dos in your day, I am also speaking about giving yourself the time and space to think and strategize, because as a business owner, those parts are really, really important as well. And for me, how I work well is I work well with time blocking, with blocking out periods of time in my diary, in my calendar, so that I can focus on specific things at specific times. And I include in that time to think. And I include in that time to, look at my KPIs. I include in that all those types of things so that I can have that clear time in my diary that's not just all packed with speaking to clients or client work or all of those types of things, because that's really important to me, is to have those times available in my diary so that I can manage my entire business and not just the client work that there is. So I hope that makes sense to you. If what I am saying makes sense, do give me a thumbs up, hearts, likes, loves, share this out, whatever that happens to be on whatever platform you are listening on today, because I would massively, massively appreciate it. So what I want you to think about is creating kind of white space in your diary for those types of times is productive. But certainly how I then deal with the other productive time is by blocking that out. So of course, meetings are already blocked out in my diary. Lunch is actually blocked out in my diary so that I have space to have a little bit of a break in the middle of the day and have my lunch, whether that's go for a walk or just eat or move away from my desk or whatever that might be. And my day also has a clear start and finish time. Now, I say that whilst I am actually in a very busy season of my business. There is a lot that has happened in my business in the last 6 months. We have a lot of team change and structure change. And so with that, my day start and end is not as clear as it was, say, over 6 months ago. And so I am in that period at the moment. And we are rehiring and we're doing a lot of things for me to move out of that period and restructuring. But at the moment, my clear end time is not quite a clear end time, not like it used to be 6 months ago. But what I do is I do make sure I stop and eat dinner with my family. I make sure I sit down and have a discussion with my family. I make sure I speak to the kids and I make sure I do bedtime. And at the moment, I do come back most evenings and do 1 or 2 hours work in the evening. And that's okay. That's okay for a short period. It's not okay forever. And so the steps that I am putting in place now are to ensure that it's not forever and making sure that I do give myself that thinking and strategizing time and that planning time. And what can also be helpful with that is actually having somebody else to bounce those ideas off. So I'm very lucky that I have my husband that I'm able to speak about these things with. But that person for you could be the biz bestie that we hear about, or it could be just a fellow business owner. It could be your significant other, or it could just be a friend that you're able to speak to these things about. But it's important. It's important as well to get that. Pam, thank you for your kind words. I really appreciate it. It does stop us being overwhelmed and keep us focused. Exactly. And so, like I said, what I am a big fan of is time blocking. Now, I have done that in various ways over the years. I have done set days for set things. So, for example, all calls on one day, all marketing on another day. I've done it that way. I've also done chunks of the day for different things. I've also used apps like Motion, which helps rejig your calendar based on what's happening in your day and when things move around. And those types of things can be really useful as well, depending on how you work best. Those tools that exist, but you can just use a Google Calendar, or in fact a good old paper diary, which I am a big fan of still. I'm still stuck in the 90s a little bit with that, but I am a big fan of a paper diary. So that is what I do to help maximize productivity in my business. Oh, I want to give you one other tip. Actually, is what I do is first thing on a Monday morning, I sit down and I have half an hour. It used to be an hour, but I've got it down to half an hour, where I just dump the stuff that is in my brain on a piece of paper. This is something that I learned from a mentor called Brooke Castillo. She calls it Monday Hour One. But what I do is I dump the stuff that's in my brain onto a piece of paper, and then I can slot it in my week so that I'm not trying to remember stuff all the time, because that for me doesn't work very well. So that's another thing that I do to help slot in and form what I need to do in the week, where I need to put stuff in terms of my time blocks and how that's going to work. So I hope that's been helpful for you today in terms of how I look at productivity, how I look at unproductive time and what it is and what it isn't. Rest is productive. Exercise is productive. Eating healthily is productive. All these things are productive. Even sitting in front of the telly, switching your brain off, is productive if it's planned to be productive. Scrolling through social media can be productive as downtime if you plan it to be productive as downtime. It doesn't need to be that you have this list of things that you are not allowed to do if you're going to be productive. If you have decided, you know what, I'm just going to scroll for an hour, then that can be productive for you. But if you get caught up accidentally scrolling for an hour, then that is unlikely to be productive. But that is how I think of it. That is how I view productivity, and that's how I work it in my business. So I hope that's been helpful for you in terms of thinking about what you might want to do as well. If you enjoyed this live stream, as always, please do give me some hearts, some shares, some loves, some likes, some thumbs up, some all those good things on whichever platform you happen to be watching on today. I will be back again tomorrow, same time, same place, with another live stream. So do please join me then, 10:30. Each weekday is my typical slot that I am picking. It may very occasionally change depending on prior commitments, but that is what I'm typically sticking to. So please do join me for another session tomorrow, and I will speak to you all really soon. Take care, everyone.